Feel. You know what is Suratul Feel? What does Suratul Feel mean? Huh? I asked you what is the meaning of Suratul Feel. I did not ask you what is the meaning of Feel. Suratul Feel. That's the story behind it. I am asking you something simple. What do you mean Suratul Feel?
Surah, chapter.
From what you feel.
Yeah, Surah is Surah only. I knew that you will say it as chapter, all it is. There is no equivalent. Surah is Surah only. Okay? Excuse me. Assalamu alaikum. हम परवाह नहीं समझ गया कहीं बिजी ठहरेंगे और को अच्छा वो घर कितना बड़ा सुने बंदा हुआ हाँ हाँ अब वो बोलो ना अब वो ये कितने देर से बोलो ये जान दे सिंगल बेडरूम हाउस का दिव्या हाँ सिंगल बेडरूम हाउस है कांदी हाथ देखो सिंगल बेडरूम हाथ देखो जो बोला अर्जेंट होना है देखो क्या है सिंगल बेडरूम का रेट हाँ देखो देखो बोलो मुझे हाँ अच्छा ओके हाँ सूरतुल फील सूरा is surah only pause करेंगे जी वो नहीं surah is surah only you cannot translate the word surah it's not a chapter it's not something at all surah is surah only it's a demarcation how many surahs are there in the Quran 114 so this suratul feel is what is the number What 10?
From down last.
From down. Okay, from down. Tell me what's the number then.
104.
104. 104? Sure?
105.
105. 105. Mathematics. 104 was attending other 104. 100 that will become the other surah. One more it will be. So Suratul Feel means the surah of the elephant. Feel. You know what is feel? Elephant. This surah is called as Suratul Feel. And also the year in which Prophet ﷺ was born is called as Amul Feel. What is it called? Am. You know Am?
Mango.
Not the mango which we eat in Urdu. Am means year. A year. Amul Feel. Amul Feel means? If you say Suratul Feel, you know what is Amul Feel now. Year of the elephant. Because in this year, Prophet ﷺ was born. And also in the same year, this incident took place. Which incident? Yeah. There was this Christian king, self-proclaimed king. He attacked Kaaba. In the sense he came to Kaaba, invaded Kaaba with the intention to pull down the structure. He invaded Mecca with the intention to pull down the Kaaba. Okay. Now, to understand this surah, you have to go back to history. History, and also you should understand the map of Arabia. Unless until you don't understand the map of Arabia, don't study the map of Arabia, it will be slightly difficult for us to actually get the idea and the feeling of the circumstances under which the Islam was revealed, the kind of people who were there, what are the kind of hardship they were subjected to, and all these things. Why? Because simply if I say Kashmir, what's the idea you get? If I say talk of Kashmir, what's the idea you get?
Snow. Valley.
Snow. You know, you cannot go and do this refrigerator business over there. You cannot sell ice creams over there. All this idea you get. Because you are well conversant with that particular area, the geographical conditions, the weather over there, right? Now, the kind of people, the nature, the way their habits, you understand. To understand Islam, the kind of hardship that people went through, okay, the kind of things which Prophet ﷺ was subjected to, all these things you'll understand when you know the history, the geography of this place. Can anybody draw me the map of Saudi Arabia? India? You can do very easily. Put a V shape, put a head there, you do that fish mark here, This is at least India, you know. Right? Approximately. Saudi Arabia,
Even easier.
even more easier, mashallah. But then how many people know? Rectangle. Horizontal, vertical, what?
Rhombus. I mean, what is rhombus?
Yeah, it's almost an L shape.
Yeah.
Okay? Is that, let's see, and somewhere here it is like this. Now, Mecca and Medina,
Second.
you should be able to locate. At least you should know.
Distance was
Now is Mecca, with respect, where is Yemen, where is Syria?
on the bottom.
Where?
Yemen is south of
Yemen is southwards. Syria is? Syria lies somewhere here. Yemen is somewhere here. Okay?
Even more.
This is Yemen. Right? So Mecca, wherever Mecca is, Medina is Mecca to south of Mecca or north of Mecca, what is this? Huh?
North, east.
Should know all these things. Somewhere here. Now, see, the day this man invaded, we are studying Surah Al-Fil today. We have to go back to the days of Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salam, Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam. Much beyond Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam days. Many years behind that. When he went there with his wife and his son, who was the wife and who was the son? And Hajar alayhi salam. Okay. Now, on Allah Ta'ala's instruction, Allah Ta'ala put him to a lot of tests. One of these tests was this, that he, after a long time, had a child, and that too when the child was still young, Allah Ta'ala asked him to, first of all, go leave them there. Sacrifice later. Go, leave them in a place, not in a city of Bangalore or Mumbai. In a place where it was desert. Desert means just don't think sand. No water. Extremely hot. Extremely cold in either seasons. And then there is nothing like a blanket or a cushion or a cover mat or something like that where the child would lie there. That child was lying there on the barren land, on the sand. Just imagine what will happen. Yesterday afternoon, it was so very hot. When I was standing in my friend's shop, I was burning like anything. Just imagine, this is nothing. This is just around 38 or 39 degrees, that's all. Over there, you know, not now, those days, it was totally barren. Wherever, to whatever extent your vision goes, wherever you could see, it was just barren land, just desert. Not a single drop of water, not in a single iota of grass. There, he was supposed to leave his children there. There, this child and the wife. And as he was leaving, the lady happened to ask, on whose behest are you leaving us? On whom? On whose this thing are you leaving us and going? Who will take care of us? The answer was what? Allah. He said, it is on instructions of Allah Ta'ala. Allah Ta'ala commanded me, on His command, I am leaving you and going. And that lady was also the kind of iman she possessed. And she said, if it is him, then I have no complaints. What an iman, level of iman, belief. Today, our wives or the sisters, very difficult. You earn 20, 30, 40,000 rupees, then they are convinced. Thoda bolo nahi, deen ka kaam karne niklenge. Oh, what will happen to the house? What will happen to the children? True. They have to think on that lines. But then, even before they think on that lines, if you are working in the cause, for the cause of Allah, going out for the cause of Allah, whatever you are doing, whichever jamaat or whichever activity you are doing, but if it is only purely for Allah Ta'ala, you can be rest assured. You need to be rest assured. Things will fall in line. But then, it is not that you do everything. That level of iman is different and our iman is different. There was a time when Prophet ﷺ was sitting in the mosque. One Sahabi came with a bundle, a packet of all his earnings, some gold. All his earnings, he gave to Prophet ﷺ. Prophet ﷺ turned away his face. Then he came this side and gave. Prophet ﷺ again turned away his face. Again he came this side and gave. Then Prophet ﷺ called the attentions of others. And he said, look, here is a man who wants to give everything he has for the sake of the religion. And later on he wants to go and beg. Something like that he said. And that's why I am refusing to take. But then, on the other hand, you will say that a person like Hazrat Usman Ghani, he gave everything he had for the sake of whenever there was need for Islam, he gave everything. And over there he accepted. And here he is not accepting. Somebody asked him, why is that so? He said, look, the Iman of Hazrat Usman Ghani is something different. I know that tomorrow if there is any dire situation, Usman is not a person that would go and beg somebody to somebody. He had that thing in him, perseverance, sabr, and that belief in Allah Ta'ala, that Iman. So we cannot have Iman of that level, that status, that high level. But then, we also should be prepared to sacrifice for the sake of deen. Maybe your money, your time, your life, even if it calls for. But then, it doesn't mean to say you give up everything, your business, your studies, everything, and go devote yourself for that cause. This is not desired. I have seen many people who have failed terribly just because they are doing some work of deen. Their businesses going ransack just because they want. That is not the way. Allah Ta'ala says, you do, but then you have to be within the society and you have to do it. Whatever little time you can do, you do. Allah Ta'ala will make ways. Start with something. See, the beginning of every great thing is what? The beginning of every great thing is small. Your small steps, you do it for Allah Ta'ala, Allah Ta'ala will expand it. He will give barakahs and better result in whatever little you are doing. And if He wants more, He will take more. But you should not be arrogant that you go and leave your families, leave your business, leave your studies. That is not advisable at all. Okay, Allah Ta'ala doesn't like that, neither Prophet ﷺ preached about it. So now coming back to the surah. So he left the child and the wife over there and he moved away from there. As he moved, he made a dua. What was the dua? One of the part of the dua was, he requested Allah Ta'ala, oh Allah, provide the dwellers of this place, the dwellers of this place with what? Fruits. Now if I stand here on this rocky surface and I said, let me try to cultivate grass here. Oh Allah, cultivate grass here means you say, what Khalid, you are standing on a rock, on a concrete, and you are on a granite and expecting grass to come. I may be a fool, but then I am not a prophet. And Allah Ta'ala doesn't reject or dishonor the duas of prophets. So Prophet ﷺ, he did. Hazrat Ibrahim ﷺ, he made a dua. And that came true. When the child started crying for want of water, Allah Ta'ala made the provision. You know the creation of Zamzam. What does Zamzam mean? Stop. If the Mufassirin say, if Hazrat Hajra had not said the water to stop, it would have flooded. And even today you see the amount of water, the kind of thing which you get. There should not be any element of doubt in this. People say, no, ye jo aa raha hai, wo bhi so kya aa raha hai. Your belief and my belief should be so strong. You know it is Zamzam, it is Zamzam. Those who put these elements of doubt in the mind are the followers of Shaitan. Okay? So, it happened. Now, what happened? Over a period of time, then you know there was a Khafila, there was a caravan which went there. They knew the birds are moving around, they knew there should be some water over there, they went to that place. With the permission of this lady, they asked whether they could settle there. Look at this system. You cannot just go and occupy some place and tell this is my place. Start living there. No. There is an owner, there is a person in custody, you take the permission, now she allowed them to stay and they started living there. So we get an idea, for civilizations to exist, for civilization to come into, habitat, you need water. Water is the main source. Wherever there is water, you have seen civilizations have taken place. the Indus Valley civilization. All these things. Wherever there is water, you will see people settling around. So there was a civilization that started setting up there. People grew in numbers. Whatever the little provisions they had, soon it got exhausted. And you know, the lady ran up and down. And this month, people who have just finished their Hajj, they perform this ritual. What is that called? Sa'i. Where do they run? Between Safa and Marwa. There are two locations. Okay. How long, how much about is this? Anybody has done Hajj here? What is the distance between Safa and Marwa?
3.5 kilometers.
Huh?
3.5 kilometers.
No.
No.
That will be the total distance maybe. It may maybe maximum
No, I-
500 meters.
In total 7 rounds, no?
No, not that. Distance. My question was, see, you have to have alert mind. The mind of Sahabas. When Prophet ﷺ used to say something, I am not putting in his place, but these are the lessons we have learned from there. You will never see a situation in the entire history of narration of Prophet ﷺ where the Sahabas would have said, oh Prophet ﷺ, please repeat what you said. I want to know again. Never. He used to talk so nicely, clearly, with subtle, concise words. His voice also was very audible, and people would listen. And the nature of the Sahaba, how attentive they were, how clever, intelligent they were. One time they would listen, years after years they would listen, the same word they would repeat. When the Muhaddisin went and asked them, what did Prophet ﷺ and so occasion? Same word to word, same. No changes in the words. If there is a change in the word, then the Muhaddis say, there is some problem in this hadith. He would make it as daif. This is what is daif hadith. There are 10 people when Prophet ﷺ said, he would go to all the 10 people and ask, what did he say at the so-and-so occasion? So he gives the narration. Then you, what did he say? The next, all the 10 people, the words should be same. Only then he would have recorded as sahih. He would call it as sahih. This is the kind of effort people have put and gathered the hadith for us. If not, what do you think? This is the authenticity. If they had not put that kind of efforts and sacrifices, where would have we been? It's a great job, this people. That too not on phone or mobile or something like that. Physically they had to go. No vehicle. Maybe on the donkey back or khachar or whatever the kind of transportation they had. There was no cycle, nothing, not even the kind of cycle was there. No, even the wheel was not there. When was the wheel invented? How many years, how many centuries back? So they did not have any locomotives. They had to go on camel backs, the horses, or whatever the kind of things they had. But they took so much of effort. Now coming back to this, so these people settled there, and then what happened was Allah Ta'ala put the thought in the minds of people who were residing here in Yemen and in Syria. Over here there was cultivation taking place. Okay? So Allah Ta'ala put a thought in their mind that every time you harvest a crop, the first crop of that particular year, you should go and share it with those people who are residing there at Mecca. Give it to them as a, what do you call it, a tabarruk or what do you call? Then come back and enjoy your crops. So these people took it so covetedly, they used to honor it so much. So many villages, all people used to go with the crops, stay with these people who are there, feed them, and when they used to leave them, they used to leave behind a lot of food again for them. Leave behind a lot of things. So that it should suffice for them by the time they come again the next season or next year, whatever it is. So what happened was, the population was very thin here, very less, but the surplus of grains were there. The fruits, the grains and all the vegetations, all those things. So it happened, Allah Ta'ala put a thought in their mind, what do you do? These excess food, or what are the grains you have, you exchange with the people in barter for clothes or whatever it is. So that happened. That way, this light between Yemen and Syria, Mecca became a commercial hub. The commercial hub. So these people, what they used to do, they used to travel. You know this place, very hot in summer, very cold and severe. So when it was winter, they used to go to place where winter has already crossed, whereas summer has begun. And in summer, they used to go other distance, where it has not yet started, the winter has not yet started. So they used to travel in these two seasons, that is the winter and in summer. In these two seasons they used to travel. When they used to travel, you know, caravans were routed even those days. caravans were looted. But the moment they knew this is the caravan of the Quraysh, who are the Quraysh? It is that clan, a tribe, who were given the charge of taking care of this Mecca, this Kaaba. So the moment the people knew this is the caravan of the Quraysh, they would not bother them. Rather, they would receive them, feed them on the way everywhere, take care of them, and send the caravan further. So this is the way it was. Plus, traveling those days is not like what we travel today. It was just dark, sand, and when you go through sands, you have the rattlesnakes, you have the scorpions, you have 101 types of beasts. None of them would even bother them. Allah Ta'ala has given them total protection. Total protection. So now, these people started living over there. Now that it became a commercial hub, this man, that is Abraha, the king's name is, the Christian king was Abraha. He was jealous of the fact that people are going there to Kaaba year after year, and it's becoming a commercial hub, and the economy is increasing. So he felt, let me improve the economy of my country by putting up another kind of structure over here, a synagogue, and expect people to come, and he wanted people to come and do the tawaf and all the kind of they are doing at Mecca, there at Kaaba, and so that it could happen. But what happened was, one fine day, one guy used it as a toilet. He defiled it. It really put him off. It outraged him. Few days later, a caravan had settled near this synagogue, near this place. Accidentally, the fire, the building caught fire. Caught fire. Okay. Somehow the fire reached it, and a part of the building was damaged. This really angered him a lot. What he did, he took an army, 6,000 or 60,000, I am not clear, 7 or 60,000. But then, it was a well-organized army. Now, people in Mecca, all these years, after the time of Prophet Ibrahim al-Islam, during the course of year, what happened? They slowly were lured by shaitan into idol worship. So much so, that at the time of Prophet ﷺ, 360 plus idols were there. Okay? So now, that Prophet ﷺ is sitting now with the people who had seen this incident. Amongst the gathering whom Prophet ﷺ was addressing now, were people who are maybe 60, 70, 80, 90 years or what it is, or at least 30, 35 years, for whom 50 years, because it was 52 years after that incident this surah was revealed. How many years? 52 years. That is the 12th year of Nabuwah. 12th year of Nabuwah, this surah was revealed. That means it was 52 years. 52 years is a very short time in history. And when you talk to people, when you go outside, you see people who are 70, 80, 90 and all. They would have witnessed the event which has happened 52 years, 52 years back. Right? So, like the Independence Day in India. How many years? 62 years back. There are still people who have seen it in their lifetime. We generally never see, we haven't seen it, we only heard it. But there are still people who had seen that incident. Okay? So, now Allah Ta'ala is reminding them through Prophet ﷺ to worship that Lord who fed them when they were hungry and protected them when they were traveling. This is a big mercy of Allah Ta'ala. People were there without food, Allah Ta'ala made arrangements. It is He who provided them. So, Allah Ta'ala is reminding them of these two mercies and asking them to worship the Lord of this house, which comes in the next surah. Right? So you read it now. Alam tara kaifa fa'ala rabbuka. Now what happened is basically when this man invaded, that time Kaaba was taken care of by Prophet ﷺ's grandfather. What was his name? Abdul Muttalib. Okay. Now when they saw this 6,000 plus army, or whatever the number is, the conditions over there were prevalent were that the people were having a lot of infighting. Clans were up against each other, different tribes and clans. They were not united. Because they were not united, they were not able to challenge this guy. So Abdul Muttalib, since he was the caretaker of this place, the Kaaba, he approached this king. He went to him and he invaded. He was in the outskirts of the city. Because when he came there, he hijacked all these camels, his camels, some numbers. So he went there and he received him and said, well, what is it? He said, I have come here to take my camels which you hijacked. He said, he got wild. He said, you are the leader of a clan, that to the Quraysh, and I thought you were going to come and discuss with me, negotiate with me, with the intention with which I have come here. Then, whatever he said is written there in history, in the books of history. Something like this, he said, look, I am come here, I am the owner of the camels, and I have the right to ask. And that's why I come to asking you about it. As far as the house with which you have, the intention with which you have come, the owner of that place is somebody else, and he will take care of it. So he walked away after saying this. So now, he invaded. When he invaded, it's a big story, I'm cutting short. I just gave you the preamble, the history, the background. But you know what happened? Allah Ta'ala sent birds. Now he took all his men to a nearby hillock and prayed Allah Ta'ala, oh Allah Ta'ala, I cannot defend this place. It's not in me that I can fight this guy. And for the first time in the history they are seeing, in the left they are seeing an elephant, such an animal called an elephant. They have never seen an elephant like that. An animal like the nature of an elephant, that huge, gigantic elephant. They had never seen it. So that elephant itself was enough for them to put off. They lost all the hopes and the strength. So he went and prayed to Allah Ta'ala and said, look, you are the owner of the place, you take care. So Allah Ta'ala did take care. There are certain things which Allah Ta'ala has promised or has taken upon himself to protect till the day of the judgment. One of them is the Quran. May what people do, they may kill the Hufaz, they may tear the books, they may burn it, whatever they do, yet Quran will prevail. It will sustain. Allah Ta'ala knows how to protect it.